Hello everyone, it's Lottie from Cancer is a Lifestyle. So it's time for Movie and Stitch, the letter R. So today's movie is The Railway Man, and it stars Colin Firth and Nicole Kidman and Jeremy Irvine. Now, let me read first what it says and then I'll give you my opinion. So it came out in 2013. It's 1 hour and 47 minutes long. Decades after World War II, a still shattered soldier unexpectedly falls in love and sees a bizarre coincidence bring his past back into focus. So this is a love story, but it also, in this love story, what happens, Nicole Kidman and Colin Firth meet on the train. He loves trains and he knows all about the trains. He knows the schedules. He knows the best trains to take. He just fascinated by trains all of his life since he was a young boy. And they meet on a train and they fall in love. And they actually keep meeting on the train. So they fall in love. They get married. And then he ends up having like a flashback to when he was in the war, and he was a prisoner of war in Japan when he got caught, when his whole platoon got captured, and he was a prisoner of war, and he has flashbacks from it, and it kind of affects his married life. He kind of reverts and goes into a shell, and he's really having a hard time getting through everyday life, and it's affecting their marriage. And as a prisoner of war, it will do flashbacks to when he was a prisoner of war and how he was tortured and how he was basically treated and all. And so what ends up happening is, eventually he decides to go back to Japan and confront this this sergeant, or who was torturing him. And basically, because he sees his name in the newspaper or something like that, I think it was a newspaper or article, and it showed his face, and he decided to go back there, and basically I think he wanted to hurt him. That was his intention. He was going to almost, I don't want to say kill him, but I think that was his intention. He wanted to just, and when he goes there and he relives this, and this I don't want to call him what would I call him, the military person that he was. I don't want to call him sergeant. I don't remember what it was. And he has become a changed man since then. He realizes all that he has done, and he is living with that guilt of torturing all these Americans. And so when they confront each other, Colin Firth actually wants to do him harm, and he reenacts him. He puts him in the cage. He puts him because, ironically, the place that he was tortured at, they turned into a museum for World War II. And who was actually doing the tours? The same man that was torturing the Americans. So this was, like, in his mind, the penance for his cruel acts. So Colin Firth kind of puts him in the same cages, and in this museum and all. And they, somewhere along the line, they kind of have this. I don't know if it's because he confronted his issue, that he came to an understanding that he could not hurt this man. He just could not do him, because he's not that man. So it's a really good movie. It deals with the effects of war on men, and how they would suffer with the memories of war, of the bombs, and of the especially if there were POWs and all. And I think this was based on a true story because at the end they showed the actual people, what they look like. And they ended up working out their differences. And he forgave him for doing that to him. And it was a really good movie. It was hard to watch because you're watching, the tortures and the things that were happening. And it's not a pleasant time because, we all have seen these movies where, Japan was known for that. Korea, all of them, they were known for torturing our young men. And it's not a easy thing to watch. Um, the acting was fabulous. I happen to love Colin Firth. He is, to me, will always be the best Mr. Darcy in Pride and Prejudice, and like nobody ever came close to him. And Nicole Kidman, these are stellar actors that are in this movie. It's a wonderful movie to watch. Like I said, if you cannot handle things like that, it's not an easy movie to watch. But there is a good ending at the end. So, today, let me show you how much I did get pretty much done on my mat, my homeless mat. Now, this is like my fourth one that I'm done. Now, if you remember, I put my stitch marker, it's down here to last time to see how much I did. So, pretty good. I did pretty good on it. I had a good night of it. And it's kind of interesting how it's taking shape in the colors. It might be just another hodgepodge, who knows. So I'm going to move this up to here now, and we'll see how much I get done next time. I do have a nice little story. I have, like I said, this is like my fourth mat. I had 3 in the trunk, and my daughter and I were out doing some errands, shopping, and we came across at one of the shopping places. We have a lot of stores around here. They're all like clustered together. There was a homeless man on his bicycle, and he was sitting on the pavement. So I was like, should we pull up and should I give him a mat from the trunk? And my daughter's like, go for it. Listen to your conscience. See what is it telling you? So I pulled up and I asked him, hey, are you interested in getting would you like a mat? And he said, sure. He was actually very nice, very pleasant. He was telling me how the mat reminded him of a rug that his mom used to have in her kitchen. So I gave it to him, and he took it and he spread it out and sat on it. So this is like I think I passed them out like 2 or 3 times that I randomly ran into people. And each time they were all very receptive. I've not ever come across a homeless person that was not receptive or that did not appreciate. Although I have heard stories of, some of them being maybe a little too aggressive or drunk or, under the influence. So you have to be careful when you do approach. You have to kind of assess the situation. A lot of them have been out their way so long that they don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to be. I think I know I've heard of one lady and that I used to, once we would donate sometimes to her, and where she would bring in food every night, and she would go to the tent city in Chicago and pass out food. And I think one time, and she was always doing it alone. And one time I think one of the homeless men got very aggressive and he spit on her. So you have to be careful and assess the situation. I've never had a bad experience, but I've never been in an area where I've had like a whole group of them. I've always only been like one-on-one. So anyway, that was a really great experience. I really feel good about that. I like that. One time the first time I've ever done that, I gave it to the lady and I came back around because I wanted to bring her some food. And from a distance, I saw that she took my mat and spread it out and was actually sleeping on it. And So that made me feel real good. So, but anyway, check out the movie The Railway Man. It really is a good movie. It's a serious movie, but it's a great movie. It's got some great actors in it, and of course that makes a difference. You can tell. You will enjoy it. It is a little painful to see, but you know that history is not always easy to watch. But anyway, that's all I got. I'm going to move up the, I put the stitch marker up here next. You can't see it that well because it's yellow. And then we'll see how much I get down next time. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.